In the frozen silence of the Arctic, time has stopped. Beneath layers of ice lie ancient creatures, perfectly preserved for tens of thousands of years. Once they roamed a world of endless snow and survival. Now they return to tell their stories. From mammoths and rhinos to wolves, lions, and even a tiny bird, each one reveals a lost chapter of life on Earth. Join us as we uncover 10 prehistoric animals frozen in ice, a journey into the miracles of ancient life. Top 10. Woolly Mammoth, Siberia. Beneath the endless frozen plains of Siberia, a giant from the Ice Age lies asleep, the woolly mammoth. What scientists uncovered was not just bones, but a fully preserved body sealed in ice. In 1901, along the banks of the Berezovka River, humans unearthed the first complete mammoth specimen. Its fur was still soft, grass remained caught between its teeth, and even its muscles carried a faint scent of decay, a time-worn body that had crossed nearly 39,000 years of silence. That moment shook the world. For the first time, humanity came face to face with a true prehistoric giant. Not a fossil, not an illustration, but a creature awakened from the depths of frozen time. It allowed us to touch the weight of eternity and forced us to wonder, is extinction ever truly the end? In the years that followed, scientists extracted intact DNA from these remains, decoding the full genetic blueprint of the mammoth. And now, in laboratories around the world, a bold experiment is underway to use the egg cells of the Asian elephant to reconstruct a mammoth embryo. Perhaps in the not-so-distant future, the frozen tundra will once again tremble beneath the footsteps of an ancient giant. Top 9. The Alaskan steppe bison, blue babe, Alaska, USA. Beneath the icy soil of Alaska, miners once struck something extraordinary. Not gold, but the perfectly preserved remains of a beast from the Ice Age. It was 1979, near Fairbanks, when a team uncovered the body of an ancient steppe bison, its skin still tough, its muscles intact, and a faint bluish tint shimmering across its frozen hide. The unusual color came from a chemical reaction between the bison's tissue and the blue mineral vivianite, iron phosphate. Because of this, it was affectionately named Blue Babe. This bison had roamed the frozen steppes of Alaska some 36,000 years ago, a time when mammoths, wolves, and giant lions ruled the tundra. Wounds on its body revealed a violent death, likely the result of a confrontation with an Ice Age lion. But in the freezing embrace of permafrost, Blue Babe was preserved in haunting perfection. When scientists began their study, they found that this wasn't just a carcass. It was a time capsule of Ice Age life. Even traces of the animal's last meal were still present, allowing researchers to reconstruct the ecosystem it once thrived in. Today, Blue Babe rests in the University of Alaska Museum, its silent form reminding us of a world locked in ice and wind, a world that once pulsed with life and now whispers its stories through the frozen stillness of time. Top 8. The frozen scimitar-toothed cat, Siberia. In the vast frozen wilderness of Yakutia, Siberia, a discovery unlike any other was made along the banks of the Bidyarak River in 2020. What emerged from the permafrost was not a fossil, but a perfectly preserved predator from the Ice Age, a scimitar-toothed cat belonging to the genus Homotherium. This was no skeleton or fragment of bone. It was the body of a young cub, its fur still soft and golden, its whiskers and claws intact, and even traces of its internal organs preserved beneath the ice. Estimated to be about 44,000 years old, the cub looked as if it had simply fallen asleep, frozen in time before the world it knew disappeared forever. Unlike the famous Smilodon of North America, this species of saber-toothed cat once roamed the frozen steppes of Eurasia, hunting mammoths, bison, and reindeer across endless snowfields. The discovery offered scientists an unprecedented glimpse into how these powerful predators lived and vanished. Top 7. The Siberian woolly rhinoceros frozen in time. It was the summer of 2020 in Siberia's Yakutia region, a land where even in July, the ground never truly thaws. Local reindeer herders made a stunning discovery near the Terektiak River, a massive fur-covered body emerging from melting permafrost. When scientists arrived, they realized what they were seeing: a woolly rhinoceros, perfectly preserved for tens of thousands of years. Its thick reddish-brown fur still clung to its body. The horn, long and curved, was completely intact. Even its internal organs, including part of the intestines, had survived the freeze. Carbon dating later revealed it was around 34,000 years old, a creature from the last ice age, frozen as if it had died yesterday. Researchers believe this young rhino was only 3 or 4 years old when it died, possibly while crossing a frozen river that suddenly gave way beneath its feet. It fell, was instantly trapped in ice, and remained undisturbed for millennia, until the climate began to warm again. The preserved horn, fur, and stomach contents allowed scientists to study what it ate, how it lived, and even how it adapted to extreme cold. The woolly rhinoceros was one of the Ice Age's great survivors, built for the tundra, covered in dense fur, and equipped with powerful muscles to dig through snow in search of grass. Yet, like so many of its kind, it vanished as the earth warmed, its world of ice and grass giving way to forests and floods. Today, that young rhino rests in a Yakutsk research lab, a silent messenger from the past, reminding us that the frozen earth still holds stories waiting to be uncovered. Top 6. The Lena horse, Yakutia, Siberia. It was August 2018, deep in the Yakutian tundra, when a team of Russian paleontologists and local herders noticed something unusual emerging from a wall of melting permafrost. At first, it looked like just another chunk of frozen mud, but as they brushed away the ice, the shape of a small animal began to appear. What they uncovered left everyone speechless. Lying perfectly preserved in the ice was a foal, no larger than a modern pony, its golden brown coat still shimmering under the weak Arctic sunlight. Even its mane and tail were intact, swaying gently as the warm air touched them for the first time in 42,000 years. The team from the Mammoth Museum in Yakutsk carefully excavated the specimen, later naming it the Lena horse, after the nearby Lena River. When they examined the body, they found something extraordinary: liquid blood and intact internal organs. Soon after, a joint Russian-Japanese research group began testing the tissues for viable cells. Their goal wasn't just study, it was resurrection. They attempted to clone the Lena horse by transferring its preserved cell nuclei into horse egg cells. Though the experiment is ongoing and no clone has yet been born, the discovery sparked an ethical and scientific debate that still continues today. Should we bring back extinct animals just because we can? Top 5. The Siberian ice lion cubs, Yakutia, Siberia. It was late autumn of 2015 when a group of mammoth tusk hunters made an astonishing discovery deep within the permafrost of Yakutia, Siberia. As they dug into the frozen ground along the banks of the Uyandina River, they noticed a strange shape emerging from the ice, small, delicate, and covered in golden fur. At first, they thought it was a dog. But when scientists from the Mammoth Museum in Yakutsk arrived, they realized they were looking at something far more extraordinary: 2 perfectly preserved Ice Age lion cubs, brothers, frozen in time for over 43,000 years. Their names were Uyan and Dina, named after the river where they were found. Every detail of their tiny bodies remained intact: soft fur, whiskers, eyelashes, even the gentle curve of their claws. They looked so lifelike that researchers described them as sleeping cubs who never woke up. Unlike most Ice Age remains, these cubs weren't fossilized. They were mummified by nature itself, sealed in the permafrost since the day they died. Scientists believe they were just a few weeks old when a sudden landslide or collapse of a burrow trapped them beneath the icy soil. The freezing temperatures preserved them with such precision that even traces of milk were found in their stomachs. In 2017 and 2018, 2 more cubs were found nearby, larger, older, and equally well preserved, confirming that prehistoric cave lions once roamed the icy plains of Siberia far longer than previously believed. Top 4. The Siberian Ice Age dog, Yakutia, Siberia. In 2019, deep within the permafrost near the Indigirka River in Siberia, a team of Russian scientists uncovered what looked like the body of a young wolf. But this discovery would soon rewrite the early history of humanity's oldest friendship. The animal was astonishingly well preserved, its fur still soft, whiskers intact, and even its tiny nose and eyelashes clearly visible. At first glance, researchers believed it to be a prehistoric wolf cub. But when DNA testing was completed, the results shocked everyone. It wasn't exactly a wolf, nor was it a dog. It was something in between, a creature from the transitional stage when wolves first began to evolve into man's best friend. This Ice Age puppy, nicknamed Dogor, meaning friend in the Yakut language, was just 2 months old when it died roughly 18,000 years ago. Its teeth and jaw revealed traits of both species, the powerful bite of a wolf and the shorter snout seen in early domestic dogs. Scientists believe that Dogor lived at a time when humans were first forming hunting partnerships with wolves. These early relationships may have begun out of mutual need. Wolves helped track and guard, while humans provided food and shelter. Over generations, that cooperation turned into companionship, and the first domesticated dogs were born. The discovery of Dogor didn't just preserve an Ice Age animal, it preserved the moment our bond with dogs began. Top 3. The Atherican brown bear, Bolshoi-Lyakovsky Island, Russia. In 2020, on Bolshoi-Lyakovsky Island in northeastern Siberia, scientists made a discovery that stunned the world: the perfectly preserved remains of a prehistoric brown bear, now known as the Atherican brown bear. The story began with a group of reindeer herders who noticed strange tufts of fur and bones emerging from the melting permafrost. They immediately alerted researchers from the Northeastern Federal University in Yakutsk. When the scientists arrived, they were met with an unbelievable sight: a massive bear, half buried in ice, its fur still intact, its body shape perfectly visible through the frozen soil. The bear was dated to about 39,000 years ago, with its hair, skin, teeth, claws, and even internal organs astonishingly well preserved. It was the first fully intact Ice Age bear ever found in human history, its nose, muscles, and tissues clearly visible after tens of thousands of years. Genetic tests revealed that it belonged to an extinct lineage of ancient brown bears, closely related to modern bears found in northeastern Asia. Researchers believe it may have been trapped and frozen instantly when a sudden landslide or ice collapse occurred during the Ice Age. To study it safely, the team used low-temperature preservation and micro-CT scanning to examine its inner organs without damaging them. Inside its stomach, they even discovered traces of undigested plant matter, a final meal from a world long vanished. Top 2. The frozen wolf pup Zhur, Yukon, Canada. In July 2016, deep in the permafrost of the Yukon's Klondike region, Canada, a gold miner named Neil Lovelace was digging through ancient ice when his excavator struck something unusual. What emerged was not gold, but the mummified remains of a 57,000-year-old wolf pup, astonishingly preserved with fur, teeth, and even tiny whiskers intact. Later named Zhur, meaning wolf in the language of the local Trondheim people, she instantly became one of the most remarkable Ice Age discoveries in North America. Unlike fossils, Zhur was a complete three-dimensional body, as if she had just fallen asleep beneath the Arctic soil. When scientists at the Yukon government paleontology program examined her, they found that her DNA, muscles, and stomach contents were still preserved. Analysis revealed that Zhur's diet included fish and small animals, showing that Ice Age wolves were not only hunters but also opportunistic feeders. Her age at death, around 7 weeks old, and her pristine condition suggested she died suddenly, likely trapped in a collapsed den before the freezing permafrost sealed her fate forever. Zhur's discovery gave scientists an unprecedented look into the genetics and evolution of ancient wolves, helping trace the lineage of modern Arctic canines. More than just a specimen, Zhur stands as a silent messenger from the Ice Age, a fragile yet powerful reminder of how life once thrived in Earth's frozen frontiers. Top 1. The frozen horned lark, Siberia. It wasn't a mammoth, it wasn't a predator with fangs or claws. It was something far smaller and far more haunting. In 2018, Near Belaya Gora in the Siberian tundra, miners uncovered a tiny body locked in ice. At first glance, it looked like a shadow in the frost. But under the cold light, delicate feathers began to appear, each one perfectly preserved after 46,000 years. Scientists were stunned. This was no fossil, it was a horned lark. Its eyes sunken, yet wings still folded with fragile grace. Inside, its last meal remained undigested, a final trace of an ancient spring that vanished before humanity began. Through genetic analysis, researchers confirmed it as an early ancestor of the modern horned lark, a messenger from a time when glaciers ruled the north and every dawn was a battle for survival. What made the discovery chilling was not just its age, but its silence. Unlike bones or tusks, this bird carried no sign of violence, only stillness. As if it had simply fallen asleep mid-song and the world forgot to wake it. Now preserved in glass within a Yakutian laboratory, the frozen horned lark stares through time itself, a fragile echo from the Ice Age, reminding us that even the smallest voices can outlast the storms of eternity. And as we reach the end of our journey through the frozen past, one truth becomes clear. Time may bury life, but it never truly erases it. From the frozen depths of time, these 10 icy discoveries remind us that the past is never truly gone. It only sleeps beneath layers of frost, waiting for the right moment to awaken. As the planet warms and the ice retreats, what other secrets might soon emerge from the melting permafrost? Perhaps the next discovery will not just change what we know about the past, but redefine our future.